Telekom Malaysia Berhad, founded in 1984, has evolved from its origin as the national provider of the fixed line, radio and television services to become Malaysia's leading telecommunications company, offering a comprehensive range of services including broadband, data, fixed line, pay television and network solutions. TM demonstrated an adaptability with the introduction of TM Go, marking its entry into the long-term evolution LTE industry. In 2018, the rebranding of its 853 MHz service as Unify Mobile positioned TM as a pioneer in high-speed fiber optic internet services. Notably, TM's historical role in rebuilding Malaysia's communication infrastructure post-World War II and during Japanese occupation underscore its enduring significance. The company's commitment to effective communication during the emergency period from 1984 to 1960, especially in the support of the police and military forces, solidify its reputation and contribute to the establishment of an extensive police VHF network by 1953, showcasing TM's enduring commitment to innovation and comprehensive telecommunication services in Malaysia.
Fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is a key aspect of understanding and evaluating assets. Fundamental analysis involves two main tasks: determining the true value of an asset and studying the factors that might influence its price in the future. There are two approaches, top-down and bottom-up. Top-down looks at the big picture, considering the entire economy. On the other hand, bottom-ups start with the single stock, gradually incorporating every factor that influences its price. 3. By study into accounts competitive environment, market shares and prospect for future growth, investor can pinpoint stock or securities that align with their investment goals. But as we move forwards, consider key factors like company dividend policy, payout ratio, and overall approach to delivering value to shareholders. This information is especially crucial for income-focused investors seeking a consistent dividend return. Long-term investors often engage in fundamental research. They are interested in the underlying health and development potential of a firm. This method differs from technical analysis, which focus more on trade activity and data and price fluctuation. For technical analysis is a strategy used in financial market to analyze and predict future price movement. Securities applies to stocks, currency, commodities, and index. Method we use analyze of past market data with the focus on price and volume. 2. Stock selection is an alternative approach. Method is assessing security by examining market behavior using statistics like previous price and volumes. Focus on technical analysis, identify pattern for future behavior instead of determine the true value of an asset. 3. Analyzing price and volumes. Technical analysis look at the market activity and demand. Data types, changes in price and volume are converted into average and generalized to graphic form. 4. Speed. Faster evaluation compared to the simple measure, enabling quick decision making. Advantage assists investor in determining entry and exit point in the market. Last choice of chart. Line charts are commonly used for technical analysis, enable quick comparison of the index of price of different securities on the same graph.
Result of fundamental analysis. Firstly, is liquidity ratio. Current ratio is to measure the relationship between current assets and current liabilities, which means whether or not a company to pay its short-term obligations. Current ratio is calculated by dividing assets and liabilities. When the current ratio is 1, it means the indicators has a stronger financial position and current assets can cover current liabilities. According to the table, in 2020, the indicator of company is 1.28 times. This is because when current assets 7440.7 divided by current liabilities 5807.6. Meanwhile, in year 2019, the company get 1.33 times when current assets A591.4 divided by current liabilities 6476.4. As we can see, both years get the indicator is more than 1. So, the liquidity ratio has decreased by 0.05 times compared for 2020 and 2019.
The dividend per share is determined by dividing the total dividend amount paid to common stockholder by the total number of outstanding shares. For the year 2020, the dividend that has been produced by Telekom Malaysia Berhad is 14.3 sen, while for the year 2019, it is 10 sen per share. The dividend per share dropped by 4.3 sen based on that year. This indicates that they are unable to consistently turn a profit with their current financial situation, which is endangered by an unstable and declining economy. Next, to determine if the business paid investor the same price or not, the price-earning ratio is essential. The market price of stock divided by earning per share equal to the price-earning ratio. In the year 2020, the price-earning ratio that Telekom Malaysia earned is 20.04 times. In the meantime, the price-earning ratio in 2019 is 22.74 times higher than year 2020. For the next year, the price-earning ratio grew, improving the ratio by 2.7 times. This indicates that the highest trade stock price was experienced by Telekom Malaysia Company, which expresses that an investor will be ready to spend RM1 for an earning price if the price-earning ratio rises. This is the main advantage provided to the company and investor.
Return on equity is an indicator used to assess a company profitability in proportion to its equity. It is a measure that tells investor how well a firm managed the money that its shareholder have given to it. Using a comparison between 2 years in 2020 and 2019 for Telekom Malaysia Berhad Company equity, Telekom Malaysia Company generate less income in 2019, getting a share of only 8.50% in a year. Compared to the year 2020, Telekom Malaysia generate more income with a 14.28% return of equity, which means that generate income for Telekom Malaysia Company had increased by 5.68%. Thus, it benefit the investor because it provide a higher return to the shareholder. Return on asset measure how effective a firm is at generating income from its asset. For Telekom Malaysia Company, in return on asset, the higher percentage is in 2020 with 4.10% compared to 2019 just 2.18%. This show that Telecom Company profit has increased to 1.92% and more effective generate income losing their asset in 2020. Hence, it will give investor an idea of the company effectiveness in converting the money invested into net income.
The debt to equity ratio is a financial metric that compares a company's total debt to its total equity. A high debt to equity ratio means a company has more debt compared to the equity. This can be risky because the company relies a lot on borrowed funds. On the other hand, a low debt to equity ratio suggests lower risk because the company relies less on borrowing from external financing. The debt to equity ratio in the year of 2019 is 1.92 times, which is higher than the year 2020, 1.65 times. This indicates that Telekom Malaysia Berhad has more debt as they rely on external sources of financing or borrowings. However, there is a positive outcome where the debt to equity ratio declines from 1.92 times in 2019 to 1.65 times in 2020. This indicates that the company is less reliant on external sources and has less debt. The decrease may signal improved financial health as the company is balancing its capital structure and making strategic decisions to enhance overall stability. A declining debt to equity ratio can increase investor confidence as they often favor companies with lower debt and see them to be less risky. Other than that, it could reflect their efficient operations where the company generates enough cash flow to fund its activities without relying extensively on the external borrowing.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Hazi bin Abdul Hafiz and I would like to talk about Telekom Malaysia daily trend from 6th January until 15th February. But firstly, we need to know what is actually daily trend. Daily trend is known as short-term trading, which its entry and exit are only a day apart and up to a few weeks only. Then many factors can influence stock price, which make this investment is risky and unpredictable. Even though the investor used to buy at a lower price and sell at high price, it's still risky, especially for small investors. Therefore, it is advisable to limit the short-term trading and convert into long-term trading. Okay, from 6 January until 20 January, Telecom will having a bullish trend. So as a shareholder, we need to purchase stock at this point and sell it back at the highest price to make a profit. At this point, the highest price is RM4 ringgit and 5 cent and the lowest is RM3 ringgit and 83 cent. Then this company will facing a bearish trend from 20 January until 3rd February. Therefore, it's recommended to sell it before the stock price started to decrease, which at RM4 ringgit and 5 cent. After that, this Telekom Malaysia stock price expected to have sudden increase. So, same method applied. As a shareholder, we need to purchase it back at the lowest price, which is RM3 ringgit and 23 cent at this point. Same goes to 6 February until 15 February, which will having a bearish trend. Therefore, before price started to decrease until RM3 ringgit and 82 cents, we need to sell it first.
Firstly, the price movement in this chart is shown from January to March 2020. In the early years, Telekom Berhad had a horizontal trend which show a little movement. Start of 2020, we can trade and purchase the shares at 3 ringgit 85 cents. Then, on 20 January, we sell the shares at the price 4 ringgit 5 cents. On 22 January, the price of the stock decreased way more to 3 ringgit 93 cents and we decided to buy new shares. On 4 February, the price increased and we decided to sell it at 3 ringgit 95 cents because it highly show a bearish market since the price at a downtrend. Then we buy shares at 16 March at 3 ringgit 33 cents as the price is bearish trend until 26 March. The last day of March show price increase and we decided to sell the shares and focus on the next month trend. Secondly, the trend shown from April to June 2020. On the second day of April, we buy the shares at 3 ringgit 67 cents to start trading within this quarter. Then, on 5 April, market price increased to 3 ringgit 75 cents and we decided to sell it before price decrease. On 19 March, we buy a new share at 3 ringgit 26 cents. As the prices are really high, we purchased before, we decide to sell at 4 ringgit 38 cents. After that day, we buy a new shares on 22 May at 4 ringgit 23 cents and hold it for weeks. On 10 June, since it shows a horizontal trend, we sell it at 4 ringgit 42 cents to close for this quarter. Thirdly, the trend shown from July to September 2020. Price movement for this quarter shows a bearish market until middle of August. We start trading on the second day of July at 4 ringgit 11 cents and hold it due to bearish trend. On 17 August, we bought more share at 3 ringgit 66 cents and hold it to wait for the bullish market begin. Then, we can sell it on 3 September at 4 ringgit 25 cents as the increased price. On 11 September, we continue being a shareholder for the company by purchasing stock at 4 ringgit 6 cents and sell it on 17 September at 4 ringgit 28 cents during bullish market. Last quarter shows trend from October to the end of December 2020. We can start our trade to continue as TM Berhad Company shareholder by purchasing the shares on the 1st October at 4 ringgit 9 cents. On 7 October, the price declined at 4 ringgit 3 cents and we can buy more shares and hold the shares during due to horizontal trend. After hold the shares for weeks, we sell the shares on 3 December at the price 5 ringgit 37 cents, which far from we purchased before and gain a big profit. A week after, we can buy new shares at 5 ringgit 13 cents on 9 December because it shows price decline and decided to sell at 5 ringgit 49 cents on 16 December. After that, the price shows horizontal trend and we decided not to buy any shares and wait for the new year and seek more opportunity.
In conclusion, trading can benefit from the application of technical and fundamental analysis, which can impact deals that result in profits and losses. Based on our fundamental and technical analysis, we anticipate that the price of Telekom Malaysia may rise more in the future. According to increased demand, we think that stock value will likely continue to increase. It means when more people buy Telekom Malaysia shares than sell back, the share price will increase. For the best possible return on their investment, investors regularly look for the optional approach, which are fundamental research or technical analysis. For fundamental research analysis sales, investments, growth perspective, and company sentiment to calculate a stock's value. While for technical analysis, past market trends and stock price patterns are analyzed to generate forecasts. Every investment technique, like any other, has its supporters and critics. Numerous solutions may be offered depending on the individual. This shows the significance of basic research in attaining good results. Source of finance for this business is a loan, which is 71,432, and for hire purchase is 229,225. In addition, for own contribution in terms of cash is 67,500, and existing fixed asset we contribute of 25,860.